Hello everyone, Benny's Gats here. Today I'll be discussing some things I've learned from everyday carrying a gun for the last couple of years. I also wanted to give some recommendations and just general things to look out for. This video is primarily equipment based. I'm not going to give you any training tips or anything. The only thing I will say about training is train as often as you can. Be proficient and confident in your ability. So it took me a long time before I settled on a carry setup. I'm super indecisive, just constantly changing my mind about different belts, different holsters, and really different guns. I carried 4 different guns before I settled on this. Choosing the right gun to carry is super important. Being confident in what you carry and being comfortable is a really hard balance to find. You may switch from gun to gun like me, or maybe this gun could give you some insight. Hopefully you don't do that. So the gun, I'm not going to go super in depth on the gun itself. I've already done an overview of it pretty much. This is my Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0. It's a 15 round capacity. Here, there's the mag there. Sometimes I do carry with this 17 round mag. Does look a little funny with the black base plate, but sometimes I'll even carry with the 15 round mag and then just carry this in like my back pocket or on my belt somewhere. Honestly, it's really important to have enough rounds on you. Having more rounds than you need on your person is a whole lot better than not having enough, really. The dot is simply preference. It's a hollow sun enclosed red dot. That's as far as I'll go into it. I've carried with iron sights before. I've carried with other types of dots. The light, that can be kind of a hot topic for some people. I just like to have it on my gun. It doesn't really get in the way of anything. It's just something that I think is necessary for when I carry. A lot of times I'm outside at night, coming home from the gym or taking my dogs out. Being able to identify a threat is really important to me. Obviously, it's probably a good idea to carry a non-weapon light flashlight on you too, if you can. You don't want to be pulling a gun out simply because you can't see in the dark. That's just a general rundown of the gun itself. I think an important thing to note is the reason I landed on this gun over a subcompact or smaller frame gun in general. The first one is confidence in my shooting ability. For a long time I did carry a Glock 43X and then eventually a SIG P365 XL. Those were super comfortable, but as soon as I would hit the range, it would get a little questionable, I'll be honest. Everyone is different, but a lot of people I know move away from subcompacts after a while. They resort back to something like a Glock 19, which is valid, or in my case, an M&P 2.0. Just be confident in what you pick and shoot it a ton. That's all I have to say about that. That does take me to something else, though. I hear a lot about a carry rotation, but I think being proficient in a single pistol platform is really a good idea, especially if you are newer to shooting. I would really suggest not having multiple guns. I understand why people may carry smaller guns for different seasons and larger guns in others, but personally, I think having a gun that you can carry in the summer and then using that same gun in the winter with something like a 17 round mag is great. It's a good idea. Just try and do that, especially if you're a new shooter. People chase comfortability and concealment and sacrifice capability for it. Do not make that mistake. If you have a good belt and a good holster, which I'll get to, you can still be really comfortable and conceal really well without sacrificing that capability and without going to something like a subcompact, not being able to shoot it that well. The holster. Here's the holster I run. This is a T-Rex Arms Raptor. Finding the right holster is extremely important. Even if you don't buy a T-Rex, I would highly recommend getting something with a wing or a claw, which is that little piece here. That kind of pushes the belt line out a good bit to help with printing. Most of the time, what's going to print is the bottom of the mag here or the optic if you do run one. Avoiding printing can be pretty hard depending on what kind of clothes you wear, the size of the gun, your body type. So something like a T-Rex Arms Raptor is definitely going to help. Tier 1 concealment makes great holsters too. It took me a while to find a holster I liked. You may have to play around with it a little bit. Like I said, T-Rex Arms and Tier 1 concealment are probably the go-to I would recommend. especially for just a new gun owner. Next thing I wanted to move on to is the belt. Now, I feel like a lot of people don't really pay attention to this as much, especially new gun owners or people who are new to carrying a firearm. But having the right belt is extremely important. I used a Kong belt for a long time until I discovered this. This is the Hunter Constantine EDC belt. This belt is simply a game changer. As you can see here, this part is elastic, and this part here is a little harder. Obviously, this is to help support the gun and the weight of the gun. An elastic kind of form fits around your body. Super awesome belt. Here's what it looks like with everything on. Obviously, minimal printing. 17 round mag, probably prints a little more here and here. This is the optic, it's the base plate of the mag. There's that, but still super manageable. That wing pushes the belt out a good bit, and obviously this is supporting the gun's weight. That hard Hunter Constantine belt at the front to help support the weight of the gun. If you have any questions regarding these products or just suggestions for me in general, that could be product suggestions or video suggestions. I've got some rifle and shotgun videos in the pipeline. I also wanted to do a more in-depth video, basically like a 500 or 1,000 round review on this Smith & Wesson, because I do really like it. I'll make sure to include some footage from the range with the Smith & Wesson for my next video on it. I'm also going to do my best to link the belt and holster without getting put into YouTube jail. Most likely that's going to be on my Instagram bio, which my Instagram is right there. I would suggest go following it. I have some really good high quality pictures of some of my firearms, including this gun. So consider following that if you would, and thanks for watching this video.